Hi, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about my favorite magical items. I think I have about 9 here, maybe 10. And I'm going to try to keep this video as short and sweet and to the point as possible because I do have a tendency to run on, considering the fact that I am a Virgo ruled by the planet Mercury, and talking is just something that I like to do. And also I have a lot of energy today, probably because of my green tea, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead and dive in. This was one of the questions that was sent in. I don't know if it was Instagram or if it was a comment on one of my recent vlogs that I posted up on the YouTube channel, but I thought it was so good, so I wanted to do this sooner rather than later. So one of my favorite magical tools, and how could I not start off with this, is my tarot cards. Tarot and astrology, that's why my laptop is here in the background. Just kidding, that is not why my laptop is here in the background. My laptop just happens to be in the background, and then when I saw the tarot and I pulled it up, and I saw my laptop, I was like, duh, maybe my laptop should be here. But the reason why that's there was because I was on it before I started filming this. But I pull all of my charts using my laptop, using astro.com. Hopefully, maybe I'll link it here somewhere, or maybe put it down in the description box so you can use that. I get a lot of questions from a lot of people a lot of times during the week, especially when I'm doing live chats on Monday on my Instagram. Jess, where do you pull your charts from? I always use astrology, well, astro.com. Because they are absolutely phenomenal and accurate for pulling charts, no matter what type of chart it is that you're working with, whether it be a horary chart, a synastry chart, a composite chart, a progress chart, a natal chart, a transit chart, whatever it is that you want to do. And then also all of the asteroids can be pulled up, and it's very, very accurate and user-friendly. So you do have to kind of learn how to work with it, and it's definitely not for beginners, or yeah, it's definitely not for beginners. But it is my favorite website to work with. And then the tarot is obviously one of my favorite tools. I'm going to put both of those in the same category of magical items because these are considered, you know, I guess working with divination. So tarot and astrology charts, astro.com, those are my #1 favorite tarot tools to work with, obviously, because tarot is just my thing. I've been studying the tarot now for over 16 plus years and astrology for over 12 years. I know I don't look old enough, but trust me, that's my favorite, or that's how long it's been. My second favorite tool is this. This is from my grandfather. He passed about a year ago. Actually, yeah, the anniversary of his death was not too long ago, maybe a month or so ago. It's the reason why this is my favorite and why I call it a magical tool is because a lot of witches, like for me personally, when I'm working in the apothecary, I'm cutting open boxes, I'm cutting herbs, I'm slicing into things all the time. That's actually one of the reasons why I have this cut on my finger, is because one of the blades of one of my tools, you know, cut me. Some witches actually use knives like this in order to cut and remove certain energy. I personally don't do that. If I'm going to remove energy, I'm going to be working with sage or Palo Santo, me specifically, or I use my voice to assert the fact that whatever is in my environment needs to leave, and I've never had a problem with that. But the reason why this is so important to me is because this was my grandfather's blade, or I guess box opener, but he sharpened it himself and would use it for everything. Now, my family is from Jamaica, and my grandfather was not a witch by any means that I know of, but he was the hardest working man that I have ever come across, and I have a space for him on my altar, and I talk to him all the time, and his work ethic was insane. I mean, this guy was the hardest working man, the most simple man, and the most like balanced man that I think I've ever met in my entire life, next to my dad. And to have his energy and presence with me as I work my own apothecary in my shop, it makes me emotional even to think about it. But this is by far one of my most prized possessions within my apothecary. I have 2 of his blades. This is by far my favorite because it is his sharpest, and he also has this carrying case, this leather case that it is that he carried this blade in. And I work with it all the time, whether I'm cutting herbs. It's just the energy and the essence of my grandfather's spirit and his hard work ethic, and his work ethic in general. Like when he died, I don't want to go too long into the story, but you guys are like family to me now at this point, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it. But when he died and we were at his funeral, so many people showed up. It was more than I was expecting. Not to say, but you know, they're older. Like, he was older when he died, and people would come up and talk about his character and how much of a hard worker he was, and that they could always count on him, and that he'd always get the job done, not only well, but just so well, and for a very decent, affordable price. And I'm very proud of that, and I bring that energy and that essence into the work that it is that I do, and I use it every single day when I'm opening boxes, when I'm cutting through things, when I'm chopping up herbs and some like really difficult herbs like peony root. I just know that this blade is going to be sharp and work for me. And also, if I ever do need to cut and remove energy, or whatever it is that I'm working with the blade, which some witches do work a lot with a blade, that would be my tool that I use. So that is my second favorite item, magical item. Even though it doesn't seem like it's very magical, some things are more than meets the eye, if that makes any sense. My second favorite tool is my journal. I know that sounds wild too, but this is the journal, and I have a million of these. Like, I have so many of these. Let's see if it will focus. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Basically, where I got this journal from was I was doing a giveaway for, I think, the YouTube channel hitting like 4,000 followers or something, or 5,000. And it blew my mind that I was even at that number. I've since grown from there, which is absolutely phenomenal. But I wanted to look for a journal to give to others, because I personally have been journaling since I could even formulate sentences together. It's a space for me to get down all of my feelings, and also document all of the tarot readings that I do for myself, and also any message that it is that I receive. Now, I started journaling when I was about 9 years old, inspired by Harriet the Spy at the time, because I was reading that book in like middle school or whatever grade school I was in. And I love the fact that she carried around a journal. I did not know that at the time I was going to be writing down my hunches and my intuitive messages, and all of those things have been documented. I have journaled every day since I was 9 years old for, like almost every single day. And there have been moments where there was a brief period, but every single message that I have received has all been documented. Every intention that I write is all documented. And my journal personally has shifted from a space where I don't write about my day-to-day, but it's almost like a conversation that I have with God and the angels, and also a place where I set intentions. So, and for me personally, working with oils, writing things down, working with fire is how I work my magic and my manifestation. So for me, I could not have this on my list. This is the current journal that I'm writing in lately. Again, this was one of the items that was in the giveaway. So I got 2 of the same because I loved it so much, and I saw, believe in magic, and I was like, come on now, that's definitely going to be mine. So I bought one for the person who I was going to, who was going to win the giveaway, and I bought one for myself. And currently I'm halfway through filling this, and I'm not going to show you guys because this is my private journal. But again, that is one of my favorite magical items. Next is another book, and it is my Grimoire. Now, this is totally different from my journal. It is covered in candle wax, but it has these gold gilded pages. And basically what happens within this Grimoire, and I've had this for a very long time, is after I have perfected a recipe or an oil, it gets documented and put in this book. All of the herbs, mojo bags, bath salts, all of it is all documented here. If I make changes and adjustments to it, I don't rip the page out. I just make the adjustment to it, because to me it shows the ongoing process of my shop and my magic evolving. The other thing that I like to do is to write down, you know, certain herbs and what I believe and what I experience, and what I document. I put them all in the grimoire, and I use them for future reference when I'm working my magic for myself, when I'm working my magic for my customers, my clients, when they have specific intentions. I pull the grimoire up and I work directly from this. I do not work with blends that other people have done. It personally does not feel authentic and true to me. In fact, there's a lot of blends on the internet that I'll read, because when I just, you know, doing my research and I'm curious what other witches are doing, and I read it and I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, why would you blend these herbs together to create this? Intention is everything, but there's some blends that I'm like, I just feel like there's a lot of misinformation that's floating out on the web, of course. So for me personally, that's why this grimoire is so important. In fact, this grimoire started in 2008. This is how far this one goes back. And it's 2018 now. So this is a very old book. And it will stay hidden and protected forever. So all of my recipes for all of the items that you see within the apothecary are in here. And maybe one day I will move them into a actual authentic leather book, simply because this one is getting so beat down with the candle wax and stuff like that, but that's to be expected. I mean, we witches get candle wax and oils all over everything all the time, so it is what it is. That being said, moving on to the next thing, I have three favorites that I've created myself, and of course I have to mention these. Now, no, I'm not self-promoting. No, I'm not trying to get you guys to stop this video and go shop my shop. Literally, I try to be 100% clear as crystal with you guys, with my intention, and in reality, to the core of my being, the items that are in my shop are there because I love them, they work for me, and they are magic. That's what BehatiLife is. It's not only a community, but is my life magic in the shop that is available to others. So for that being said, I have to mention some of my items that are in there because they truly are my favorite. To start, it is my full moon lunar bath soak. This one, you guys, I'm a Cancer ascendant, Cancer rising, and I have always connected with the moon. I moved a lot in my life, and I can tell you that no matter where I moved while I was a child, if you hear any noise in the background, it's Franklin needing attention. But no matter where I was as a child, I would always look towards the moon at night. And the full moons, I never felt alone when I would look up at the sky and I would see the full moon. I always felt like there was a presence there, an energy there, and I was being protected and guided, and there was communication from a very young age, not even realizing that that's what it was that I was communicating and receiving energy and information. And now the full moon is so important to me. That's my most active time. That's my private time. That's my sacred time. Even when I was at my most active time in my life, you know, when I hit 21 and I was going out with my friends every once in a while, if a night out happened on the full moon, I would not go out. I would tell everyone like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I don't know why I had a British accent there, but no, I'm not feeling well, or oh, I'm busy, or oh, I have to study. In reality, what I was doing was going into my meditation, setting intentions, and working with the moon every single full moon. And that's something that I stick with to this day. That being said, the full moon soak is one of my most favorite magical items because it was literally designed to work with the energy of the full moon. And the full moon for me is a very sacred and private and quiet and intimate and time. And a lot of times I find myself taking baths in order to prepare myself for my ritual If you'd like to see me do a video on my full moon ritual, I'm more than happy to do that. But I'm more active during the full moon than I am during the new moon or any other moon phase. So for that, I was hesitant to bring in the bath soak into my shop when I brought it in, because I was nervous. I don't know why I was nervous, but it's so private to me. Like, it's so private and sacred to me. So anything like that, it's hard to kind of put yourself out there. For me, having the full moon soak was something that I had always kind of created for myself, even when I didn't even have the resources. And I would just find a way. I would find a way to do it. And it was just always that one thing that I would always have for myself. So that is my favorite, one of my favorite magical items is that bath soak. It does have oils in there. And you know, the blend that it is that I use specifically, and that is also available in my shop. The second, well, I don't know what number I'm at right now with my favorites, but this Mojo bag is one of my favorites to carry around. I actually carry it in my purse. Someone recently asked me to do a what's in my bag video. If you guys would like to see that, I am more than happy to do that. That'll be like a what's in my bag witchy version. I'm not sure if that's been done yet on the internet, so that'll be really interesting. Again, if you would like to see a video of that, I'm more than happy to do that for you. Just let me know. I never really know how much you guys want to see and where you guys are at with certain things. So just you know, communicate. This YouTube is not only for me, it's for us. So yeah, but this is my spring Equinox bag at Mojo Bag, and the reason why I created it was because at that moment in my life, it was, I mean, I always watched the stars and I always watched the cosmos, but what was going on in my life I just felt like I was in this space of like growth and awakening. And a lot of the things that I was working on and that I was trying, what you guys can't see is Franklin is chewing on my foot right now. So if you see me moving, I'm like trying to kick him away while I'm like filming, and he's like, no, mommy, I want your foot. Yeah, that's annoying. It's so cute. And his teeth are so sharp. Anyways, I was seeing a lot of my intentions manifesting themselves really quickly, and that was around the time when I created the spring Equinox Mojo bag. And now this is one of those things. The blend inside is just so amazing, and it's like all of my favorite things for the most part outside of chicory. All of my favorite herbs in one bag. And I carry this around for luck and beauty and attraction and manifestation and self-love and goddess vibes, and I can honestly say that it hasn't failed me yet. It smells amazing, and it's just a good luck charm for me that I carry in my purse all the time. Again, if you would like me to, this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that, but I love it. I love this, and it was just the moment when I created it. I think I still have some in my shop. Again, they're just very limited amounts, but it is what it is. That's one of my favorite magical items. It's like a good luck charm, but it also was set there for the intent that I created it for. So I carry that around with me. My next favorite item, magical item, is what is inside but also the outside. Please ignore the fact that it is so dusty. In fact, I should probably clean this before I show it to you, but it is what it is. And it's this jar right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it has this like gorgeous skull, and it has this wonderful lid. My hands are gonna get so dirty, but this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. All the lights are very, very bright. But I love this. This is one of my favorite magical items that I keep within the apothecary. Actually, within the apothecary, I keep it on the shelf where I work my herbs, and when I'm making my intention oils, for the most part, if I'm not working in the altar, I'm working in the apothecary space. And sorry guys. So what Franklin, this jar, sorry guys, I got distracted for a minute. What's in this is my Phoenix Rising dark soak. And really what this is it's black salt, it's Epsom salts and charcoal with a special herbal blend. And sorry guys, it's Franklin. Why I love this so much is, I'm so sorry for the quality of this video. You guys are going to hate me, but why I love this container so much is because I find it so stunning, but within it is, again, my bath time is everything to me. It is a sacred space always. I've been very busy last year. That's obvious and apparent. I've been very busy for a few years, but last year was ridiculously busy in a good way. I'm very blessed for that. But so it's very special for me to be able to take time, bath time for myself. And the Phoenix Rising bath soak makes your water totally black, and I love that because it is a time for me to focus on death and destruction. And that is why I put it in this jar, this container, because it reminds me again of like being open to the destruction process and transition and transformation. And I stay open to it for many reasons, because I truly believe, like, not that I'm welcoming death into my life, like, you know, illness or anything like that, but the idea of death and transformation is something that's very powerful. And when something dies, something new is brought to life. And that's why I called that bath soak the Phoenix Rising. Because when something ends and when something is wiped out, something new comes up from those ashes. So I put it in, I love this jar because I feel like you can't really see that. You don't really see things like this very often. This is one of my favorite items, even though the jar itself is not magical. The interior, what's inside, is very magical. And it's one of my favorites. It's one of those things that I when I bring people into the apothecary, I'm very proud to have that container in there, because it just kind of, and the inside, what's inside in there, because I'm just like, yeah, this is my apothecary, this is my witchy space, and I love it. All right, so moving forward, I think this is one of my last things that I have. Sage, come on, of course, how could this not be my favorite? Simply because without this, I feel like I would just have a lot of energy kind of bogged down and in my, like, crowding my space, crowding my environment. Me, myself, sometimes I get stuck in my head, very much mental sometimes. As intuitive as I am, I do think a lot. I'm a thinker, and I feel like burning sage and Palo Santo helps me to clear that space and to kind of hit the reset button. This was a no-brainer. It's so basic. You can get it anywhere. I have Palo Santo and sage in my shop now as we speak. This abalone shell is the same shell that I've been using when I sage for years. It hasn't changed. It has burn marks in it because I work with it all the time. I keep it on my altar when I'm not using it. It's always within arms like I can grab it, arm's reach. And you know, I just love it. Sage, again, like I said, you guys pretty much know how sage works. If you don't, I will link that down below. But yeah, you just, you know, remove energy and remove things. Okay, so that's pretty much all my favorite items for now. It's January, February, March. It's March 2018 when I'm filming this video. Maybe my favorite things will change as we move forward in the year. I can't really see them changing too much. But if they do, I can update the video and let you guys know. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really curious to hear what your favorites are. Comment them down below. Maybe leave me some links. What are your favorite items, their magical items that it is that you carry? Is there something that your family has passed on to you that is just a prized possession for you? Do you prefer the new moon over the full moon, or the full moon over the new moon? And is there something within your own sacred space that you just look at it and you're like, ooh, I love this? Because I'd like to know. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.